and let's get over there now. So a couple of important things about this in general. First of all, if you haven't already gotten an email from me about this or you've gotten your invitation, then good for you. That means you're looking at this video very early. But I'll have everybody enrolled in this soon enough. You might be in already. The important thing to keep in mind is that that invitation will be directed to your VCU EID, and you'll need to join Google Plus with that. Even if you have a separate Google EID, even a separate Google Plus account, we need to keep everybody within the VCU system. In fact, one reason why we're using Google Plus and not Facebook, which has its own system for groups and communities, is because Google Plus is part of the Google Apps for VCU suite. It's supported by VCU. That gives us some advantages. You can even see the logo up here. So, remember that joining this with your EID is mandatory. We'll be doing some very essential activities here. In a way, this is our home away from Blackboard. We'll be doing many of our discussion activities here, and there'll also be opportunities for open discussion. You may have already noticed that one of your very first assignments is to come here and introduce yourself. And in order to do that, you'd want to get into this welcome section of the page. So the way to do that, if you're ready to do your introduction, you would create a post. You might notice if you're still on Facebook that it's not altogether different from that. Try to be a little more detailed than this. Give us the opportunity to get to know you. You can introduce yourself in writing, or like me, you can use a video. You could upload something from YouTube or link to it directly, or record a video with your webcam if you're so inclined. Again, that's optional. It's up to you. I'm not going to click on this because I think that will activate my webcam. I'm not really up for doing that right now. Once your post is finished, you want to make sure that it goes to the right place in our community. And you'll notice in this two drop-down menu, there are different options. You'll want to put this in our welcome section. We want to try as best we can to keep things organized, and then share. Now, that will be your first post in this community, the first of many, I hope. There'll be other opportunities to do this. One thing that I'm really going to encourage to be proactive on your part to post questions about what we're doing, whether it's questions about the lessons or questions about the assignments or more open-ended questions. Please feel free. I'll also be posting announcements about the course and about particular assignments. I'll do my best to remind you when I can, although ultimately it's your responsibility to stay on schedule. So let's say you have a question about a particular writing assignment. You would direct it here, questions about assignments, and ask, what am I supposed to do? Well, try to be more specific. I don't understand, are you asking me to do this or that in an assignment? Really, anything I can do to clarify things for you, I'd be more than happy to do. And I always say, when there's smoke, there's fire. If you have a question, it might seem silly to you, but chances are other people in the group would need to know it as well. And that's why I'm encouraging everyone to use this forum, this community, rather than just emailing me directly with a question. You can do that if you want, but I'd probably reserve the right to post the question here. I don't have to give you credit for it, but I figure if I'm answering the question for you, I might as well ask it for everybody. If it's a question about a lesson or something about the reading as well, there's something I didn't understand. What's meant by this? What is this thing even about? Any question, big or small. Now, here's the other important thing. I mean to answer every question that's posted here, and as quickly as possible, depending. But I'd also encourage each and every one of you to try to answer questions as well. Uh, if you think you have the answer to something, please go ahead. That will certainly help me. I'll chime in anyway, even just to say, well, let's give credit to this one guy for answering the question directly. But I also want to get a sense of what perspectives other students have on the questions that are being asked. So, uh, do this out of a sense of community. Also do this in order to score course participation points. Remember that that counts for 20% of your grade, course participation, and virtually any activity that goes on here will go towards that. So you can help your cause grade-wise. You'll help to stay engaged in this. Now, to that end, one thing you'll want to make sure you do, notice here on the left side, there's this notifications sign. Make sure they're turned on. And that way you should be notified when somebody posts. And that might mean that your inbox gets inundated with messages. It's hard to predict, but I figure that's the price we pay for not having to come into the classroom for this sort of course. We'll be flooded with notifications from time to time. Maybe we can figure out other ways of managing this, but it really is very important that we stay on top of these things. And if you yourself post a question, you'd want to know as soon as possible whether an answer has come. So aside from that, I'd really, just in case not every notification gets through, I'd really encourage you to check in here at least once a day throughout this course, because it is a major commitment on your part just to keep up with things. And there we have it for now. I'll probably be sending around updates. This page is a work in progress, certainly. We might add more content, more sections to it, but I think now you know enough to get started with it. So if you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you to do that welcome thread. Make sure, once again, can't be too careful, that it goes in the right place. We want to keep all of this organized. So thank you very much. Certainly let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon.